Am I the asshole for ruining my family vacation because of my period? Ruining is in quotations. I, 15F, it's all adding up. Just got back from going around Europe for 2 weeks with my parents and two younger brothers, 11 and 13. A few days before our flight home, I got my period and it was bad. Being already tired from traveling and being away from home didn't help with my nausea, cramps, and no energy. I feel you. My wife occasionally has like a nightmare period, that's not like the rest. It's rare, but when it happens, I know that it's just best for me to find like the best potential steak deal that I can get, whether it's going to the store, whether it's going up to Texas Roadhouse or wherever it might be. She'll be staying at home. I'll be bringing it back to her. She doesn't want to go out. She's got to get that iron back up. And we do these things because when those nightmare periods happen, you're on thin ice. We'll say that. There's things that I do that she thinks are cute. That she said, it's so cute when you do that. But whenever I do it when she has a nightmare period, it's no longer cute. It's the worst thing ever. She hates happiness. It's kind of crazy. To make it worse, that makes her sound insane. Listen, nightmare periods are a rare occasion. I'm not being held hostage. To make it worse, we had a full day of walking and sightseeing planned ahead of us. I asked my mom if I could just stay at the hotel and rest as I was in pain and really couldn't be asked for any of it. She told me she knew it wasn't pleasant, but to try and push through as we only go abroad once a year, and she didn't want me to ruin the vibe. Hell yeah, Mom. You're like the one person in this situation that would be able to like have some sort of empathy for her. You know what I mean? Like the boys are going to be like, especially the 11 and 13-year-old, especially since I've learned that apparently like 11 and 13-year-old boys are not learning about like periods and safe sex. Hey, just remember, sex ed leads to lower teenage pregnancies. It's been studied, okay? That's a real thing, okay? And along the process, you can learn about how periods work because you should probably know, okay? Even as a boy. I mean, I guess it's not necessary for you to know, but it probably, it'd help you out in the future for sure. But yeah, you're the mom. She's there with you and then 3 other boys. Come on, Mom. I'm not saying that you have to stop everything, but like it kind of makes sense that she would maybe want to just sleep at the hotel. It was awful. We spent the morning climbing up this hill to see a view of the city from a church. And my brothers the whole way just kept complaining about me needing to take breaks frequently to sit down while my parents just basically let them. Great. And didn't tell them to shut up. What really pissed me off was them loudly embarrassing me in public at a restaurant about how many bathroom breaks I needed, and they kept telling me I was killing the mood. Off topic, but those free street bathrooms in Paris are nasty. True. But that's mainly all public bathrooms. I don't like public bathrooms in general, to be real with you. As a man, I will pee in a public bathroom, but if you want me to sit on the toilet, come on, brother. Have you seen some of the gas station bathrooms? Unless you're going to Buc-ee's, it's a nightmare in there. It's a war zone. When we get back to the hotel, I got into a massive argument with my mother and said a few things I admit were out of line, and I regret that. She told me to remember how much money it had cost for all of us to take this trip and told me to be grateful. The final day of our trip came, and she finally just let me stay at the hotel and rest. I know my parents work really hard for us to go on vacation, and I was a bit rude to her, but I was in pain, and I feel like everyone could have at least tried to pretend to give a shit about me. No, I feel you. But that's mainly because, like, I understand, like, I've known, like, not even just my wife, but, like, I've known women in general that have, like, had, like, the nightmare period, and that combined with physical activity, like, if it's hiking or something like that, is a nightmare. And, like, sometimes you really just don't feel like doing it, It's like, imagine waking up. Like, if you wake up with a super bad sore throat and your head hurts a lot, you're probably not really going to go on a hike. You know what I mean? Kind of like the equivalent of that, but, the cramps and the nausea and all that. And no energy, as she put it. Not the asshole. Tell an OB/GYN that your periods are this bad, though. True. Won't always help. It took me about 14 years to be diagnosed with endo, and it only happened because my doctor saw it physically while I was already cut open for another surgery. Don't worry, my wife has gone to an OB/GYN. She doesn't have anything crazy. She's been on birth control, and that would occasionally lead to nightmare periods. Birth control's sick. Super cool. Edit. With additional information, sounds like OP is firmly not the asshole. What did you say that was out of line? That would determine if it's not the asshole or everyone sucks here for me. As of right now, I'm inclined to think your family is in the wrong, especially when your parents didn't tell your brothers to can it and show some empathy. True. On the other hand, vacations are expensive, especially in this economy, and I can understand why they didn't want you to miss out on the experience. So while they definitely suck, you might suck too, depending on what you said. Without getting into too much of an argument, since a lot of it was just about other past stuff and how she's let my brothers do this type of shit before, I called her a selfish jerk and other stuff along the lines of that, and it just escalated badly. You had a period for 2 weeks? I feel like, wait, what? That's okay. They edited it because I feel like there was never a point when they said that. They were on vacation, and towards the end of the vacation is when they started to get problems. Okay, everyone's asking about if she's been diagnosed with endo. What did you do to manage your symptoms? What did you say to your mother? I think those are important questions. Life doesn't stop because of periods. Being in Paris is a once-in-a-lifetime event for many people. I can see that your parents wanted you to see it. But tell your doctor about your periods. Bro, it depends. Like, if you're telling me that you're in so much pain that the idea of walking around is like going to be miserable for you, then I'm not going to recommend that. Like, I'm not going to be like, hey, we're in Paris. Like, there's just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So why would I have you go and do this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity if you're going to be miserable the entire time? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's going to ruin the experience for you. Most symptoms are managed by resting. Ooh, yikes. Yeah, no shit. I asked what else she did. She's 15. She isn't allowed to do anything. That's why I'm asking. Okay. She's 15. Her options to manage her symptoms are limited to what her parents give her, and they obviously aren't helpful. Periods can be debilitating even for adults, and she was trying her best to stay home and take care of herself. The adults in the situation failed her. Yeah, periods are ass, man. I know that, like, as a man, it's very easy for us to kind of be like, just man up. Yeah, oh, your tummy hurts a little bit. But there's some, and like I said, this is just like women that I've known in the past as well, too, where it's just like, dear God, that looks like it sucks. That looks like ass. You know what I mean? Sounds like ass. Seems like it'd probably be overall ass. So I don't really want to go into it. Not the asshole, but is your period like 3 weeks? If yes, you should really consult a doctor. 5 to 7 days usually. But why are there so many controversial comments where they're like, did you really have a period for a month? And it's like, that's not what they said. A few days before our flight home, it says, going around Europe for 2 weeks with my parents and younger brothers. A few days before our flight home, I got my period. So like 3 days before the vacation ended. They didn't have a period for 2 weeks. They got their period like a week and a half into the vacation. I don't know what's going on here with the controversials, but I don't really think you're an asshole. I think that like maybe it's just because like it could just be like I don't want to say personal experience because that makes it seem like I've personally had a period, but like just knowing people that have had, like those nightmare periods. Like, I feel you. I understand. Like, I'm not going to sit here and judge you for being a bit grumpy because I know there's days when I wake up where, like, maybe I didn't get enough sleep, where it's like, I'm going to have a little bit of a toot too, And in my head, I think I'm justified. I think you're more justified than I am on those mornings. But, usually if I have an attitude, you're just getting, like, the silent treatment until my headache goes away. I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to cuss you out. You know what I mean? Usually.